I'm going to show the advantages of having estimate history turned on in HeavyBid. And the first place I want to show is in TreeView. And I'm going to go to an activity. I do have to be on an activity. And I'm going to come up here to the binoculars in the upper right-hand corner. And I'm going to click on that right there. And first of all, if you don't get this screen, that means automatically that your company has either not set this up, or that you have the wrong option indicated in Tools Preferences. It would open up the old estimate history. So this is what the new estimate history would look like. And really all I got to do right now, if I want to go and look at all the estimates that I have syncing, all right, I just have to type in a description. And it doesn't have to be long. I don't have to spell out RCP or anything like that. I come over here and say, well, I want to see all instances of my 24-inch RCP, and I want to see all available, all the estimates. But you can see here, I can do like the last 180 days, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all available. And I apply the filters, and then these are the estimates that it pulls up, and I can see right here my units per shift because it's matching the units, the rate, the productivity value right here. So that's what it will show right here. It always shows man hours per unit, and as an option, it shows unit cost. And what's pretty cool about this is you can go back and you say, well, here is another estimate, and I want to go and see what the crew was, and there's the crew from that other estimate. So you can get a lot of information right here. I can also return the history to my notes, and then later on in the review, these 4 values would be in my notes. Let's do another one now. Let's come down here to my inlet, and let's click on that. I'm going to come back up to my binoculars, and I'm just going to type in inlet. And let's go ahead and change. You can make these values default. You don't have to change this all the time. And look at all the ones that I have right here. There's my hours per unit right there, my man hours per unit. And it even averages everything to show you, what the average was. And if I wanted to say, well, I really don't want in this average, I really don't want these ones right here. And then it will vary those right there. So you could take that out of that average right there, and it would not return these to the history that I have deselected. So pretty cool feature. You notice up here also, there's another button for production history. And if you had heavy job, it would go and look at your heavy job data, and you could either pull up by description or by a cost code in heavy job and see the same type of data. And you could even drill down to the crew on a certain day and see who was assigned to that crew. So very useful if you have heavy job. All right, this is the first one. Let me show you now one that's super critical that I think I really don't see why companies would not have this turned on, which I'm talking about is estimate history. And that's when I'm copying from other estimates. So typically an estimator, he'll come in here and he's looking for something. He'll click this and he sees all these estimates right here, but he's not sure where the item is. So he just starts, poking around, wasting time. He doesn't have to do that if he has estimate history turned on. All he has to do is click here, go to estimate history, and then he's going to see the list of estimates that are syncing. Okay, I don't have that many, so I don't really have a great data set here. And then I'm going to say, well, I'm going to search on bid item description, and I'm going to search on inlets, or just inlet right there. And these are the ones right here that it pulls up. So it's searching across estimates. And then I said, well, that's the one I want right there. And let's see here. So I click on it, it opens it up, and then it actually highlights it. I'll get off of it so you can see it. So it highlights it so you can check it off quickly. So you can imagine an estimator who typically copies from other estimates all the time, how much quicker this would be. This could save hours and hours a week because they're not having to search all through the estimate, especially for something that's just like a one-off that's buried in one of the estimates. Let me do that again. I'm going to click here. This time I'm going to search on activity, and then I'm going to type in RCP. Let's see if I have an activities with RCP. There's my RCPs that it pulls up and all the estimates. And then I'm going to say, well, I want this one right here. Goes out to that estimate and then highlights it right there. Super useful, super productive if you are building estimates by copying from other estimates. All right, well, this is Arthur Nix with EWKS, and I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, if you want to know how to turn on estimate history, all you got to do is call HCSS Tech Support and say, hey, I want to turn on my estimate history. I want to turn on Precon. All of this is free. There is a paid option on Precon, but you have to actually, click the boxes to accept the pay. So just tell the tech support person, look, I want the free version of Precon, and then show me how to turn on estimate history in credentials and then also in HeavyBid itself. And then from then on, you just sync some estimates and you'll be up and running.